Hi, this video is for you if you are a super successful entrepreneur or a super successful corporate executive who's doing amazing in his life, who's going out there getting shit done, who's running an entire company, who's running an entire department, and 60-hour work weeks, 80-hour work weeks, 100-hour work weeks are no big deal for you, where you can just go out, you can achieve things, and you can do a lot of things. But at the end of the day, there's something inside you which makes you feel like you don't have enough time for yourself. Being all this busy and achieving these things is great, but you want to be able to have some time for yourself as well. Or second scenario, if you achieved a lot of things in life even before, like when you were working, now you find yourself just achieving more and more and more things. You want to be the best, you want to get a degree, now you want to get another degree, now you want to get another degree, and multiple degrees and degrees and degrees and degrees, and you're doing amazing in life. You're getting the medals, you're getting the degrees, you're getting everything that you've ever wanted. All right, but this is somehow turning into a constant chase now. If you have those feelings, somehow maybe a little bit of it, if you can resonate to it, watch this video. This video is for you. Hi, welcome to High Worth Cycle. My name is Kshitij and I help high performers like you build high worth and get off the hamster wheel. Now, here we're talking about the constant chase that is always out there. The feeling that if I do not produce every time, all right, if there's no production, there's no output, I'm not going to be good enough. And this is something which can be a new realization for you right now. Maybe right now, just thinking of, all right, just close this video right now. This dude doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I want you to maybe take a little bit of a pause and just think to yourself. If you're someone who gets stuck, who's always achieving, who's in that achiever syndrome, that I always have to work, and my self-worth is tied to how much production I make, how much output I give to the company, or how much I give back. And you always find yourself constantly working, where a lot of your life is getting ignored. Your relationships are getting ignored. Your health is getting ignored. The passions that you wanted to do, that's getting ignored. And the hobbies that you always wanted to do as a kid, that's getting ignored. When we were growing up, when you were growing up, you had certain dreams, certain aspirations that you wanted to do. Number of them would be fulfilled right now. But that little childlike innocence, that fun and that play in life, that has gone away. And you could also say that you've become a workaholic right now. Because what's happening right now is the amount of production and output we have, the amount of work we're doing, that's when we're feeling that we're enough. Because if we don't do the work, our identity isn't getting fulfilled. We're going back into those feelings of I'm not good enough. What am I if I'm not working? What am I if I'm not producing something? What am I if I'm not doing something? So this identity of a high performer, this identity of being an entrepreneur are tied up and making us feel like only when I'm working, I will be worthy. And which is why we cannot take breaks and a lot of our other life is suffering. To look back at the core reasoning behind it, we'll have to look at how our childhood was. Usually how low self-worth gets formed, or how usually our self-worth gets attached to the amount of work we do, starts in childhood. If we're getting the messages, then marks will equal worth. That only when we get the good grades, only when we get the good marks is when we're going to be worthy. Only when we come first in class, when we get the A grade is when we're going to be worthy. Or only when we achieve something in life, we're going to be worthy. Only when we achieve something in sports, only when we achieve something in music or any extracurricular activity, are we going to bring the name and recognition back to the family. And only then I am going to be worthy because I've done something in life, something that is worthy. Because these are the messages also that we receive all the time. That only when you earn a lot of money, only when you get the good grades, only when you achieve something, are you going to be worthy? At the same time, we might have grown up in a household with siblings, and we notice that if a sibling gets good marks or does not get good marks, all of that depends on how much love he's going to receive. So let's say when I get good marks, I'm going to get the love of my parents and the praise and the love and validation. When I don't get good marks, then the love and praise and validation I don't get. I get a scolding for that. On top of that, maybe if my brother or my sister gets better marks than me, achieves more things than me, then she's going to get more love than me. And I feel disconnected from it. And I feel that I'm not being loved enough. And I'm not good enough because now I'm not getting marks. So now, the good grades that I'm not getting is the core reason behind it. So the only way that I can feel worthy again, that I can get the love again, is when I get the good grades. So we go down this hunt of achieving new and new things. It could be achieving more medals, achieving more sports achievements, getting more good grades, or getting a degree after degree, or even when we're working, producing more stuff, giving more output and getting more awards as part of the company. Because now that's the only way we know to feel worthy and to avoid that pain inside that we feel from when our parents withdrew their love from us. If this wasn't bad enough, the social conditioning around plays another negative role out here. When we look around, what is there? everything that we look around is the person who gets famous, gets all the love of everybody around the world. The person who gets money gets all the love, or the person who gets the final dream of having a beautiful wife, a settled, secure job, earning 100K, a six-figure paycheck, or when you get that amazing dream car, the new Tesla or the new iPhone, that's when you're going to be worthy, that's when you're going to be amazing. And we're after this chase again. We start to get all these things. We start to achieve more and more and more and more things. And every time we achieve something and we don't feel good enough, we want to achieve more. We achieve something, we don't feel good enough. We want to work even harder. We want to get into the hustle mindset. We want to hustle. It's day and night hustle. We cannot take a break because that's all there is. If you take a break, are you even working hard enough? You're not even doing anything for yourself. And that becomes a constant chase for us where it just does not end till the time we take the conversation, we take a mindset, we take a awareness internally rather than focusing externally on everything out there. The solution to this is understanding our subconscious patterns, understanding how they affect us, and then understanding what are the pain it caused to us, what have been the repercussions of that, how we dealt with all that, and then finding ways to release the trauma, which is what exactly we're doing here at High Worth Cycle. Now, certain actionable things that you can do, certain actions you can take right now to start on this journey. The first thing we can do is we can start to take some rest. Rather than going after this rat race, this crazy never-ending hunt of always working, always going after the next thing, because work is always going to be there. We'll have to start to take rest. We'll have to start to enforce boundaries that this is my working hours, this is the time that I work, and after that, I'm not going to work. So separating your professional life and your personal life is going to be amazing. Next is what you can do is you can start to say no. If it's a boss that is giving you work, or if you find yourself every time, if there's any work being done, you want to get the achievement or that, you want to get the acknowledgement of that, which happens so many times that anytime if there's something, if I do this work, I'm going to get the credit for that. And I'm going to be acknowledged by everybody and I'm going to feel the love of that. We're going to start to have to keep certain boundaries around that. We cannot always go out there and take up anything that is thrown our way or anything that is out there. We'll have to start to say no. We'll have to start to use self-restraint that no, I am already filled up with some stuff. I don't need this. I am worthy enough right now. Giving ourselves affirmations as well, which is going to be the next thing, that I am worthy enough. I am enough as in who I am. I have achieved enough things in life and right now I have enough on my plate. Another thing you might find yourself in is being in this competitive behavior frame that if my colleague does something good, better than me, that means I'm not good enough. Or if I say no to this project, someone else is going to take it and then they're going to get more acknowledgement for that and more credit for that. We'll have to disconnect from that. And we'll have to understand that if I am successful and I'm doing certain things in life, someone else is also doing certain things in life, both of us can be successful and cultivate this abundance mindset that there is enough success to go around for everyone rather than being on this rat race so that no one leaves you behind, so that you don't get stuck somewhere. Just being and staying and understanding more of what's happening in your life. Next, what I want you to do is I want you to take out some time for self-care where you just take care of yourself without trying to achieve something, without trying to do something. Indulging in massages, sauna, spas, doing things where you can just relax, maybe reading a book, doing the activities that you loved as a child, just playing around without an agenda is going to be helpful. At the same time, there might be certain activities that you would have given up, like playing, drawing, or you always wanted to do something, maybe go skiing, always wanted to go paragliding, always wanted to go bungee jumping, or just playing with your friends, reconnecting with your friends. Certain those things to get connected with yourself where you're not after this constant manhunt, constant rat race of just achieving the next big thing and always doing something. Another thing I want you to start doing is starting some activity that involves your body. Martial arts, working out, dancing has been always amazing. Yoga is amazing. When you do all those things, you start getting connected with yourself. And during that time, you can just relax and stay. At the same time, you need to start meditating. Meditation is going to help you be aware of all these patterns and help you just rest and calm down and get your mind into a normal state where it can just relax, where you use the mind rather than your mind using you and making you into this person who's always trying to achieve the next thing. Because just notice the pattern of the mind. Once you achieve something, once you do something, once the task is accomplished, your mind is like, all right, what's next? Let's do that. What's next? Let's do that. Ask yourself when that's going to end. Once you meditate, you can start catching yourself falling into these patterns. So during the day, when you fall into these patterns, in the starting, you might not be able to say no and establish boundaries to taking a more work. Or you might always want to not take some rest or not indulge in self-care activities. With meditation, you're going to start to be more aware and start catching yourself in these moments where you can fall into these patterns. Next, what you want to start doing is you want to start setting your goals right. Rather than setting your goals from a place of low self-esteem or from a place of low self-worth that I'm not enough, I have to achieve this, only then I'll be worthy. Start setting goals on what you really want to do, not from a place of that I want this and then I'll be feeling worthy. Maybe a goal could be that wake up in the morning and just relax, not do anything. That could be an amazing goal. So tie this down to self-care activities and start setting goals. When you're setting goals, also keep in mind to put in realistic goals and not be in a hurry to always achieve those goals. Because the inner child state, the child of us inside that we just lost along the way, is a very playful, a very creative part for whom time does not really exist. It's only the adults that we feel that this certain time is allocated out here and we have to finish this thing in this certain time. So when you set your goals, even if your deadline is not being met, don't get into a panic state. It's okay. Move on. It's okay. So if you want to do something, it's okay if you're not completing it in the same amount of time. You can take some more time again. One trap that you might fall into here is about procrastination. That could be a video for another day, but try to not procrastinate during this time if you're setting your goals, all right? Because that's one of the traps that I'm sure a lot of people are going to be falling. And we're just so used to doing things at the last moment. The final tip that I want to give you is that start monitoring the way you talk to yourself. Mostly we're very harsh on ourselves. We're always saying to ourselves that I am not good enough, or in third person voice that you're not good enough because you haven't achieved this thing. You're not good enough because you're not doing this. You're not good enough because you're failing. You're not good enough because you cannot complete a task. You're not good enough because you're getting tired right now. You're not good enough because you want rest. And usually all of these things are not our true voices. These are the voices that we've internalized of a parent who's very critical of us, or a figure, maybe a teacher or someone we looked up to who'd criticize us all the time and make us feel like we're not good enough. And now this voice has been internalized and we start to talk to ourselves in this manner. So what you want to do is, you want to start talking to yourself in a more loving manner, in a more loving, wise manner, like you being the understanding, the adult, the wise self, and who's talking to a child with love that you are enough. It's okay if you failed. It's okay if you could not complete a task on time. And just notice that this critical voice is always making you feel worse and giving you more and more trauma and is not making your life better. Talking to yourself in a more loving manner rather than in a very harsh tone is going to be much, much better for you and will start to make you feel more better and more relaxed and be happy the way you are. And then from that space, you can of course go on to achieve more things if that's what you want to do. But the main thing out here is not about that you want to achieve things in life and that's bad. But the main problem out here is that the space that we're coming from, it's coming from a space of that I am not enough and I will be enough when, and I cannot stop. And it's coming from a space of compulsion. Keep these things in mind. Use this for your own benefit. I hope you guys got a lot from this video. I hope this video was amazing. If you did, make sure you hit the subscribe button, you spank it, smash it, and you demolish it. This is Kshitij signing off. I will see you in the next video. Peace out.